Top 5 bizarre bone collections. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Number 5, a house made of mammoths. In 2020, a massive trove of bones was found in Russia. Dating back roughly 20,000 years, the collection was clearly artificial and big enough to suggest that the bones had been used to build a structure. To this day, it remains unclear whether the building was somebody's home, a storage area, or a temple. All that remains today is a bone circle measuring 36 foot, 11 meters in diameter. The Ice Age builders used bones from at least 60 mammoths and other animals. The latter includes foxes, horses, bears, wolves, and reindeer. One of the weirdest discoveries was that, for some unknown reason, the community constructed the place while the meat was still attached to some of the bones. The place must have reeked 6 ways to Sunday. One can be forgiven for thinking that this is certainly not the best habit when it comes to real estate, but apparently, it served enough purpose not to be unique. There are 70 similar and equally enigmatic structures from the same period across Russia and Ukraine. Number 4, Belgium's bone walls. Ancient people loved their walls. These structures kept the enemy out and the sheep inside, but a series of 9 walls in Belgium was unlike anything that experts have seen before in this particular country. Instead of using bricks or normal building material, the walls were created by stacking human shin and thigh bones together. No small bones were found, so body parts like hands, feet, and even spines were nowhere to be found. There were no children, however, the site did contain other body parts. The lanes that ran like rows between the walls were filled with skulls, many of them shattered, and it is believed that a nearby church, St. Bavo's Cathedral, emptied its graveyard twice sometime after the 16th century, but nobody is sure why. There are no other human walls in Belgium to explain why this community felt the need to build walls with their dead instead of placing the bones in a more traditional ossuary, a stone building the house of skulls and long bones near a graveyard. Number 3, the hyena stockpile. In Saudi Arabia, there is a cave with a horrifying carpet. As far as the eye can see, bones packed tightly together. Numbering in their thousands, the bones belong to humans, camels, horses, and roughly 10 other species. Luckily, this is not the work of a serial psychopath. In 2021, after experts found tooth marks on the bones, it became clear that hyenas have been using the place for thousands of years to stockpile bodies. There's a chance that the spotty carnivores are still utilizing the cave as a pantry. In the early 2000s, people tried to enter the site, but they beat a hasty retreat after hearing what sounded like snarls of hyenas. Number 2, a herd of opal dinosaurs. How Australia discovered its first dinosaur herd remains a remarkable story. In the 1980s, a man called Bob Foster worked at an opal mine in South Wales when he and several other workers kept finding odd stones that looked like horse hooves. The other men kept smashing the rocks to look for veins of opals, but Foster began to wonder, why did all the stones have the same shape? The gut instinct told him that the miners were devastating countless dinosaur bones, so he scooped up 2 bags of hooves and took them to a local museum. He was right. Not only did it turn out to be a new species of plant-eating dinosaurs, but Foster had found a whole herd of them. One animal was nearly entirely intact, making the world's most complete opalized dinosaur. The hooves were not really hooves, they were the toe bones of the creatures. Number 1, a gruesome post-battle ritual. About 2,000 years ago, a field in Denmark witnessed a bloody battle. On the more mundane side, it was the earliest evidence of a large-scale conflict in the area, but the thousands of bones also revealed what happened after the fighting was over. More specifically, what the living did to the dead. Hundreds of men perished at Alken Inch, and their bodies were also abandoned there, so to speak. Instead of being given a funeral, animals and elements were allowed to ravish their corpse for as long as a year. After that, their bodies were systematically chopped up, scraped clean, and sometimes the same type of bones would be strung together on a stick, for example a bunch of pelvis bones. Skulls were also crushed. Most of the remains were then thrown into a nearby lake. Which one of your bone rituals do you think is the coolest? Please let us know in the comment section down below. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the next 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you all in our next video.